Please, allow me to show you something.
I don't know. To me, I don't think that's like the short way to tell your hair porosity. Hello, welcome back to this Trini will, and today I will be talking to you about hair porosity and why it's the most important thing you need to know before buying products for your hair to start a hair journey or your hair regimen. What I'll be covering in the video is what is hair porosity in the first place, the categories of hair porosity, the characteristics of the different types of hair porosity, and how you can test your hair porosity. So if you're interested in buying the correct products for your hair, continue watching. So what is hair porosity? Hair porosity is basically the ability or the porosity of your hair determines how your hair will absorb and retain moisture. Why is knowing this important? Well, you're buying leave-in conditioners, moisturizers, deep conditioners, so your hair can look healthy, have some moisture and look nice. So if you know how your hair reacts or how your hair would absorb the moisture that you put in, that you're spending your money to buy products on, why not know these important things? Depending on your hair porosity, it will affect how your hair allows oils and moisture to pass through the outer layer of your hair, because you have the outer layer of your hair, which is the cuticle, and then you have, which is made up of like protein, and then you have the softer inside part layer of your hair, which needs the moisture for it to be healthy. Okay, so now we have an understanding of what is hair porosity and kind of touching on why it is important. So now, what are the types of hair porosity? You have high porosity, medium porosity, and low porosity. Okay, so I'll put up an image somewhere, probably here, where you can see what the hair cuticle looks like depending on your hair porosity. So you have low porosity, where the cuticles are close together, right? So it's a smooth cuticle of hair. And how you can, this is just a quick test, getting into one of the tests that you can do, which is not really telling wholesome, right? If you take a strand of your hair and pass your finger down, if it feels smooth, it's because the cuticles are closer together, so it will feel smooth. If it feels rough, it's more than likely like high porosity hair, because the cuticles are far apart. Okay, so low porosity hair, the cuticles are closer together. For medium porosity hair, they are less tightly bound, so they have some space in it. And then you have high porosity hair, where the cuticles are widely spaced. So why is knowing your hair porosity important for the products that you choose for your hair care regimen? Of course, you need your hair to be healthy. As I said, that's why, or you want hair, that's why you're spending money at the beauty supply, at Pennywise, at Target, at Walmart, at Walgreens, because you want your hair to look nice and be healthy. If your cuticles are too close together, it's hard for water and oils to penetrate your hair, so it's not going to get through the outermost layer of your hair to get into the hair to provide the hydration that it needs. So it's going to be hard for your hair to get moisture. If the cuticles are too widely spaced, while you can let moisture in, your hair is able to absorb moisture, it's going to have a harder time retaining the moisture and staying hydrated. So at the two ends of the spectrum, it's kind of difficult. So persons with low porosity hair and persons with high porosity hair. So medium is kind of like what people would want. Or if you have medium porosity hair, like your hair care regimen probably easy and you're not having a hard time getting products. So now we know what is hair porosity. Is there something that causes your hair to have a certain level of or fall into a particular category of porosity? Well, in most instances, the porosity of your hair could be genetics. So low porosity hair, high porosity hair, medium porosity hair, it could be based on genetics. However, if you have low porosity hair or medium porosity hair, the porosity of your hair could change due to chemicals or heat damage. So we know what is hair porosity, we know the types of hair porosity, but how can we tell what is our hair porosity type? So there are 3 tests which you can do to test your hair porosity. However, there's one which is the most important and the easiest one to me to determine your hair porosity. So there's one that's easy, but it wouldn't necessarily be or tell you what your hair porosity is. So anyway, so the first test is you can take a strand of your hair, or just hold on to a strand of your hair and pass your finger down the strand of your hair. Okay, so if it feels smooth, it will be you have low porosity hair, because the cuticles are closely stuck together, so it's basically having a smooth finish. Okay, and if you have high porosity hair, it will feel rough because the cuticles are wider apart. There will be some texture to it, so it will feel rough. Okay, so that's the first test. Simple test. Pass your finger down the cuticle of your hair. The next test is when you are, the next time you're washing your hair, how long does it take to get wet? If it takes a really long time before it's fully soaked or drenched with water, you have low porosity hair, because as we learned, low porosity hair, it takes a longer time for the hair to absorb moisture. Okay, so a characteristic is that you would see product tends to sit on your hair, water sits on your hair. I took a picture, I will take a picture of how the water just rests on your hair. It looks like little beads of water just on your hair. Okay, and if your hair gets wet in a short space of time, completely drenched in water, you have high porosity hair, because your hair absorbs moisture easily. Now for me, why I don't think that to be the best, because it's relative, which you don't know is what it's relative to. If my hair is accustomed to taking 5-8 minutes to get completely wet, it's not something that is just what I'm accustomed to. So to me, that's probably the normal amount of time your hair takes to get wet. It's not until someone probably with high porosity hair says, yeah, I just take 2 minutes for my hair to get completely wet, then you would know, hey, well, my hair is taking a longer time to get wet. So that's kind of subjective, right? And then the test that I would recommend for you to determine your hair porosity is the water test. So what you would do is you take a strand of your clean hair, and it's recommended that you take it from different sections of your hair. I don't recommend cutting your hair or cutting a piece of your hair to get it, because when you wash your hair, you know your hair sheds, so you're going to get some of those strands anyway. So clean strand or strands of hair, and you will put it into some water. So get a clear glass so you can be able to see better, and you're putting that hair in the glass of water. And what you're going to do is observe after 3 to 5 minutes what happens to the strand of hair. If the strand of hair floats, stays to the top of the water, it's an indication of low porosity hair, meaning the hair doesn't absorb water easily, oils, moisture, anything easily, so it remains floating to the top of the water. If you have medium porosity hair, it drops, it doesn't stay to the top of the water, but it's just going to be submerged in the water, chilling, dangling there in the middle of the water. Right? And if you have high porosity hair, your hair will sink to the bottom of the water. For some persons, dependent, because remember it's a broad spectrum, so while you may have low porosity hair, it still has a spectrum within low porosity hair. I can't get into that for you, but it's there. So if you have high porosity hair, it may sink immediately, or it may take some time and you will notice it sinking. Yeah? So that's the water test to determine your hair porosity. So I will insert a clip with me testing my hair porosity using the water method, and we'll see if, because the last time I did the test I had low porosity hair, so we'll see if your girl still falls into that low porosity hair category, and the products you would use to care for your hair porosity type. So I could do another video for the products that I use and I would like to purchase for my hair care journey or regimen or whatever you want to call it. But if you have low porosity hair, again, it's difficult for your hair to absorb moisture. Therefore, you have to take some extra steps and precautions for your hair to absorb that moisture. So, for one, you would want to stay away from conditioners with protein, okay? Or if you're using protein, or if the product has protein, look at the ingredients and look for hydrolyzed protein. So, you would want products with hydrolyzed protein. Because I know it happened to me. Everyone was raving about the ORS hair mayonnaise, and I was like, yes, I need to buy that. My hair will be so healthy. La, 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 la. It did not work for my hair because your hair already has a lot of protein, because that's what the cuticle is made up of. So when you put more protein, it just becomes a bit more brittle and like dry. Like, I don't know. It did not work. I still have the bottle there because literally I only used it once. That hair mayonnaise did not work for me because that is a protein heavy treatment. So low porosity hair, protein, no. Next, you would want to use kind of like oil-free products, and if you are using oil-based products, it should be a light oil. And apply heat when deep conditioning your hair. So what I do, I would just put a shower cap and cover my hair with a towel and do something else for 45 minutes. The place hot, your hair will be generating some heat, so it gets some heat to absorb some of the moisture and the goodness that you want to get from the product. Now, for high porosity hair, you would want to focus on butters and oils in your shampoos and conditioners, because with high porosity hair, while your hair could get moisture, it doesn't retain the moisture. So I guess an example with high porosity hair is that you used your leave-in conditioner, you use your oil moisturizer, but by say that was 10 o'clock, by 2 o'clock your hair dry, and you want to know why. It's because your hair is not absorbing, holding on or retaining the moisture. Avoid using warm water when shampooing and conditioning, because the hair cuticles are already open and they can absorb the moisture. So the more open they are, it just opens up more and they're not going to retain it, but you want to retain it, so you can use cold water, I guess, lukewarm. So anyway, I hope you guys learned something about your hair or how to go about testing hair porosity for your hair, so you have a better time choosing products. Because I know when you go to the store, it has like an array of products and you don't know where to start. So at least knowing the type of products you want to steer away from or the characteristics of the products that you're looking for, it will make choosing your products a bit more easy. So if you learn something, if you're gonna apply it, click the like button. If you're interested in learning more about relaxed hair care or hair care for low porosity hair, as I myself go on my journey, you can subscribe to this channel. So until next time, stay safe and yeah, take care until. I can't win. Like, my neighbors don't want me to be great. Like, water truck reverse again. Ow. Crazy. You think this is right? Do you think this is right?